A battle of playoff contenders here in Windsor, Colorado to wrap up Week 22 of the USL League One calendar as Northern Colorado Hailstorm hosts a surging Union Omaha side. You're watching USL League One on ESPN+. A pleasant good evening, Sam Goldfarb here. Let's take a look at the current state of USL League One. You see, Northern Colorado, they were top of the table a few weeks ago, but 3 consecutive defeats have seen them tumble. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, they're on a roll. 3 consecutive victories. They are the hottest form team in the league the last 10 matches. Now just 1 point off that top 3. It sets up a really intriguing battle at the top of the league table. For the Northern Colorado Hailstorm, the player to watch, who else could it be? Trevor Ammon. He's fresh off another brace against Lexington SC last weekend that wound up being a 4-3 defeat, but not at any point his fault. He broke out of a mini three-game goal duck. He's been terrific for them up front. A big player to watch, and keep in mind, if he has a hat trick tonight, he could break the single-season USL League One record for goals. There's still 2 months left in the season. He's been so impressive up top. Meanwhile, for Union Omaha, they're without Noe Meza, so the big man to watch is Steven Dos Santos, who's led the line sensationally, a top player who dominated the USL Championship for years. He's now started to get his goals ticking up for Union Omaha, as you see this lovely header last Wednesday against Lexington. 3 goal contributions in his last 3 matches. He's the big man to look out for up top. Just about set for yet another banner late-night clash in USL League One. The season series on the line between Northern Colorado and Union Omaha when we return on ESPN+. Stick with us for lineups and kickoff.
Welcome. I'm Jason Olskart. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskart team powered by C3 Real Estate Solutions.
We are proud to partner with future legends to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are and the exceptional value that every client will experience when working with us.
If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule a time to meet with us.
Shields All Sports Store is your one-stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one-stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one-stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee-owned, community-minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
It's a new day, Northern Colorado, and we're set to seize it. More than that, we're out to dent the old standard and set the gold standard. Today is about resilience. That's something our squad has shown and continues to show. Today is about growth. That's a trait this team and this town have seen and continue to see. All this time, the focus has been on our community's legendary future. But today, it dawned on us. The future is now. Are we building something special? Hell yeah, we are.
Back here from Windsor, Colorado at the Future Legends Complex as the season series hangs in the balance between Northern Colorado Hailstorm and Union Omaha. Let's take a look at that season series. What's transpired the first 2 times these teams have met? Well, in Game 1, Union Omaha took the opening contest 3-2. It was aided by an early red card from Stefan Lukic. And how about that bicycle kick from Noe Meza? He added a second after the break. Omaha went up 3-0, and despite a Trevor Ammon brace, they could not find their way back into it. But speaking of Ammon braces, in Game 2, that's exactly what happened. And at this very location a month ago, Northern Colorado took all 3 points to even the series up. And speaking of Northern Colorado, here is your look at the Hailstorm 11. We believe it'll be another 4-2-3-1. Trevor Ammon once again leading the line. The big note here, Bruno Rendon coping with a little bit of a knock, so he once again is on the bench. That dual 6 midfield of Norty and Kwakwa will look to win the ball back as much as possible for Eamon Zayed. And then for Union Omaha, this could be fluid as Dion Akoff could venture forward, but we believe it'll be a 4-2-3-1 as well. The big absence, Noe Meza, not in the 18 tonight. He missed the last game with an injury. They said he was a game time for this week. He's out once again. The onus falls on Steven Dos Santos, Joe Brito, and Luis Heel to do a lot of the creative work for Dom Casciato and company. So just about set for kickoff between the Northern Colorado Hailstorm and Union Omaha. Sam Goldfarb here. I'll be with you every step of the way tonight. For Northern Colorado, it was a 4-3 defeat against Lexington SC last Saturday. It was a match in which they led 3-1, struggled to hold on to the result. Eamon Zayed says this week was about returning to their solid principles and their principles of tenacity and toughness. He believes that's been lacking a little recently. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, we mentioned it off the top, hottest form team in the league with 8 wins in their last 10. But Northern Colorado, one of the 2 teams to hand them a defeat over that span. Omaha in the black and yellow, going from right to left. Northern Colorado in their lovely black and gold, going from left to right. And we're underway here from Windsor. 3 versus 4 in the USL League One table. Dos Santos down in the box early and out harmlessly for a goal kick. Gonna notice a difference between the sticks as well. Johan Peñaranda making his first appearance of the season. Lalo Delgado was suspended after receiving a red card after last match against Lexington. So the man who made 17 starts last year gets his shot. Here's Kwakwa. Looking ahead early for Ammon. Scooped up by Billy King, a player Eamon Zayed describes as one of the best all-around footballers in the league. For Omaha, it was a 2-win week last week. Began with a 2-0 victory over Lexington in the friendly confines of Werner Park. And they followed up with a 3-1 victory over Knoxville. It was really 2-0 for the bulk of the second half. Shivani Willis put it out of reach with his goal of the week candidate, and nothing but consolation for the visitors. It was a performance that Dom Casciato described as 95% professional. He was quite pleased with what he saw from his bunch. So there is your look at Peñaranda, the 23-year-old product of Florida International University. Was forced into action pretty frequently last year, so he's not thrown into the fire tonight. But evidently, Delgado won that #1 keeper kit prior to the season, and Peñaranda has his shot to establish himself tonight. Here's Dion Akoff. Looks back for Doyle. Omaha so fearsome when they begin to link across that formation. Even without Meza, just so many creative pieces across this squad. Oprah will get us back underway. The top chance creator in USL League One in Arthur Rogers. Well, there's your look at Dominic Casciato in his first season for Union Omaha. Speaking to him ahead of this match, talked about how the early season wobble a little overblown as Luis Heel gets a touch in the box, and it's blocked quite well by Kwakwa. And now here's Akoff. Omaha certainly forcing the issue more than they did at that first meeting at the Future Legends Complex a month ago. Now here's Billy King with some room on the left. But speaking to Dom Casciato ahead of this week, we asked him, how'd you turn things around? And he said, well, look, I believe it didn't really require much turning around. It was more about turning early season draws into victories. And he's right. I mean, in large part, even during his winless ruts, the bulk of those results were draws and they were picking up points. And recently, they've just turned those draws into wins, have shored things up a little more at the back since the ending of that rut in late May and early June. And lately, very few have been able to vanquish Los Pujos. Here is one of the heroes of that unbeaten run in Akoff. Here's Kwakwa. Stefan Lukic, a man who dominated at the NAIA level in college. Looks for Dietrich on the far side, and it's kept in play well. Here's the ball to the back stick, and it will evade Billy King. Select, the official batch ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. A little over 6 minutes gone here at the Future Legends Complex. One of the newer sides in USL League One enjoying a banner year, but hoping to bust out of a rare winless run. It's the first time they've lost 3 consecutive matches in club history entering tonight. There's the ball down the line. There only is Captain Cornwall. Rogers has some room. Decent looking delivery. He overhits Dietrich. Well, there's Eamon Zayed, his second season in charge of this Northern Colorado Hailstorm side, the only coach this club has ever known. He's enjoyed a sensational campaign, responsible for bringing this young club to the top of the table for first time in league history. He's brought in a ton of proven players who could pretty much play in League One or the championship. And during that record-setting 12-match unbeaten run that spanned through June and early and mid-July, Eamon Zayed was named Coach of the Month for May. Since that unbeaten run was snapped at North Carolina on July 26th, he says he feels his side needs to return a little bit more to their roots. It was a Northern Colorado team based in their defensive solidity, being very difficult to play against in the early stages of the season. Said 7 matches on the road to open the year will do that to you. He says obviously when you're winning matches and getting results left and right, you can lose that mindset of toughness and solidity, especially when you're venturing forward so much. This week was about returning to the basics, and that's something he's preached throughout local media, club media, and to us ourselves in our pre-match call. Whistle against Joe Brito, and Lukic will get us back underway. Dietrich does well to prevent that going out for a goal kick. Well, there's Dion Akoff. Has emerged as a regular at right back for Union Omaha lately. Was the hero in the first Knoxville meeting in July. Here's King, has a hit. Just blast that one a little wide. Decent looking effort from a man who has a propensity to challenge keepers from afar. See, this just sits kindly for him. And yeah, just can't quite find the target there. But if you know Billy King, you know he is not afraid to try one from outside the box. And he's a man playing with confidence at the moment as well. He's had the wind in his sails lately, Billy King. Scored goals in each of the last 2. A rare bright spot in the midst of this recent rut, although goal scoring has not been the problem for Northern Colorado these last 3 matches. Good ball for Akoff. A bit of hand fighting goes against Luis Heel on the near flank. Here's Dietrich. Bounces kindly for Rogers. Gallardo unable to rescue it out of play. Colorado didn't feature the last time these two teams clashed. Was weathering the effects of a red card suspension. Unsurprising that he's in that attacking quartet in this Omaha lineup. Technically won't be credited for that assist on Brito's opener last week, but not for a fortunate touch from Dolabella. That likely would have been the case. Ola looks long for Ammon. He's saying it took a touch off Mastrantonio. The linesman disagrees. Always a menace to deal with, Trevor Ammon. And this Omaha side knows better than most. 2 matches this year, 4 goals, a pair of braces for the 25-year-old. Coaching staff just applauds him constantly for his unbelievable work ethic, a guy who's become a less casual finisher, according to Eamon Zayed. It's been a big reason why his goal tally has more than tripled here in 2023. We saw in the pre-match the lovely banger he scored to open the scoring against this very Omaha side on July 15th. Aqua plunges this forward for Billy King. Good overlapping run from Norty. Low cross. And cleared out of play for the first Meadow Gold corner kick of the evening. Fans, corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold. Rogers takes it short. And here's Dietrich. Looks back for King. Right idea, wrong ball. Fans, Peculiar Brewing Company. Visit their tap rooms in Windsor and Fort Collins for great craft beer, food, and live music. Great place to watch the Northern Colorado Hailstorm match. Why not? Side playing just its 9th match at the Future Legends Complex. Here's Oprah. Tussle with Akoff. Ultimately trickles off Billy King. This is Dos Santos. Undercut by Kwakwa. First threatening free kick for Los Bujos tonight. Kwakwa was sent off the last time these two teams met, picked up a second yellow card in the 79th minute. Fortunately for Omaha, it was already when the match was largely out of reach. It was a 2-0 deficit that they were unable to overcome. I'll start with this long free kick. It's Milanese in the vicinity. And swinging ball to the near post. And Peñaranda called in action for the first time. Well, there's save number 1 of 2023. The man who entered the season with the club record in stops. Here's Rogers. Constantly pops up all over the pitch. King's cross. Routine grab for the back-to-back Golden Glove winner, Rashid Nuhu. Decent idea here. I believe King would have been hoping for a little better final product on that cross. If you're going to beat one of the best goalkeepers in the league, you're going to have to be a bit more threatening than that. Here's Rogers. Now Oprah's got some room to roam. Man who on his day is virtually unstoppable out of that left back slot. Here's Kwakwa. And well, Rogers caught that one a bit prematurely, it seems. Perhaps a little fortunate to get off without a card there. I believe that's what the assistants on the Omaha touchline are saying as well. I guess we digress. Kwakwa switches the play for King. One-on-one with Milanese, and the latter wins the battle. A young man who is in his first professional season, fresh off dominating the Southern Conference with UNC Greensboro. Has established himself a foothold in that Omaha 11 of late, making his 12th straight start tonight. Here's Rogers. Tricky interplay. And Lukic. Good looking cross to the back stick. And recycled well by Dietrich. King. Looks back for Oprah. And it's tucked back out to Dietrich. Oh, that's clever from King. Looks inside. Lukic can't quite test Nuhu. King's been in the middle of everything for Northern Colorado. You see him once again popping up on the opposite flank this time. Lukic got his head to it. Twisting the screws are the Hailstorm here in the opening 25 minutes. As athletes continue to push limits and break barriers, Spalding helps keep them at their peak performance. Spalding, trusted in every sport. Mastrantonio looks for Akoff on the far side. Slightly overhits him. It almost seems like Akoff's playing in more of a wingback role tonight. When we looked at the lineup, we thought it could go one of two ways, perhaps the usual 4-2-3-1 that Dom Casciato has trotted out with regularity over the course of this recent 8-win and 10-match stretch. Also, there is some potential to shift that into a back three if they so choose. Milanese is capable of playing center back in a back three. Saw it in his college days. Gallardo. A little bit of head tennis with Fola. And now here's Oprah. Fullback's always a point of emphasis for Northern Colorado in possession. Lukic. Oprah. Surveys for options, looks for Ammon. Hoofed only as far as Rogers. He and Milanese will be a fascinating battle to watch over the course of these 90 minutes. Almost no opposing defense has had an answer for Rogers when he surges forward. Here's Billy King. Looks for Rogers and slightly, a little too much mustard on that through ball. "25 minutes gone here from the Future Legends complex. Still no score between Northern Colorado and Omaha. A battle between third and fourth place in the table. For Northern Colorado, a win tonight could send them right back up to the top where they began last weekend. For Omaha, a victory allows them potentially to climb to second depending on what transpires at Breese Stevens Field over the course of the next 45 minutes or so. Here's Heel. Just a creative mastermind who has so much MLS pedigree in the mid-2010s with Real Salt Lake. Lukic. Looking ahead for Ammon, still trying to grow a bit more into this. And here's Brito for Omaha. Now looking for Heel. Flag stays down. Tracked very well by Billy King. Match of ebbs and flows, it seems. Whenever you talk to Dom Casciato about Omaha's identity, it's always press-based. They like to possess it a little more than past Union Omaha sides have. You see the ebbs and flows possession-wise. Colorado not necessarily known for being a possession-based team either. For both, it's about being clinical when the opportunities present themselves and not overexerting themselves on counters and counter presses. Skier's a little too overzealous in that challenge against Oprah. Another Omaha player who has come on considerably in the last month or so. 5 goals to his name alongside Dos Santos. A little more goal-scoring diversity from Los Bujos than we saw in April and May, where so much of the onus was on Noe Meza. Skiers. Brito. And the flag is raised on the far side. Fourth official tonight, Patricia McCracken. Donovan Eubank is instructing all officials here in Windsor. I'll tell you what, he's had a pretty clean affair to cope with in the opening half hour. A tactical clash these first 30 minutes. Here's Doyle. Finds Dos Santos. Clever layoff from Brito. And Milanese can't quite return the favor. We've spoken a little bit about the historic season for Northern Colorado. This was a squad that last year missed the postseason on a tiebreaker with Charlotte Independence for that 6th spot. They would have wound up playing the defending champs had they managed to overcome the hump there. This season, though, the postseason, it seems a reality with just 2 months left. A club that set the record for 12 consecutive matches unbeaten. They broke a record previously held by this very Omaha side. They opened the year 11 matches unbeaten a couple seasons ago. For Northern Colorado, it was a stretch where everyone caught fire. Billy King developed masterfully. Trevor Ammon was scoring at will. But in lieu of that attacking outburst, Ayman Zayed says they lost some of their solidity at the back, and we talked about it earlier, but that's the emphasis for this week. And so far, no soft opportunities conceded by the Hailstorm. For Omaha, that's been a talking point as well all year, protecting leads. But outside of a 7-match winless rut at the start of the summer, things have been a lot cleaner on the back line for Los Bujos. Rogers twists through a sea of yellow. Switches the play for Oprah. King. Man with freedom to roam wherever he goes. Decent cross. Looking for Rogers. And Swahi runs it down well for Omaha. If you're just joining us, a cagey affair in the opening half hour and change from Windsor, Colorado. Future Legends Complex, a lovely facility that should be the home of the Hailstorm for years to come. Northern Colorado prior to that had played at 3 different home venues in their opening year and a half of club history. They found home, and it was starting to become a bit of a fortress, according to Eamon Zayed, ahead of that defeat against Lexington, which he says unfortunately he feels has maybe changed the perception of the venue a bit. Said to the guys this week, unfortunately that defeat is going to have anybody coming in here believing they can take 3 points. Still just 8-1-1 at home this season. All of 2 of those matches have been played at the Legends Complex. Decent header down, appeals for handball, and the referee points to the spot. It's no hesitation from Donovan Eubank. Well, that came out of seemingly nothing, and Rob Cornwall is appealing his case. Eubank seems unmoved, though. All right, let's take another look at this. Chip delivery from Gallardo. Was intending to find the head of what appeared to be Mastro Antonio, and Norte appears to be the culprit. Donovan Eubank didn't hesitate. It's a spot kick opportunity for Union Omaha. And Joe Gallardo stands over this. One of the top creative players for Omaha, looking to give them the lead 10 minutes before the intermission. Gallardo, and he slots it home. Top left corner, and Union Omaha in front. A silent Future Legends complex as the 25-year-old San Diego native gives the visitors a 1-0 lead 36 minutes in. It's his first goal since May 20th. Let's take another look. Good-looking penalty, perfectly placed in the top left corner. Nothing Johan Panuranda could do, even if he guessed the right direction. Noe Meza's absence hasn't proven an issue for Union Omaha. That trend continues to open the scoring as Gallardo tucks in his 3rd of the season. For the 2nd consecutive match, Northern Colorado Hailstorm facing a first-half deficit at the Future Legends Complex. It's a side that has not fallen behind frequently, but a tough break on the handball, and Gallardo proved clinical from 12 yards. The man who played at Querétaro in Mexico prior to his stop in Omaha, but early in his career was an All-League first-teamer with Richmond Kickers in their inaugural season in the league in 2019. Another major pickup for Omaha ahead of this 2023 campaign pays dividends. Well, back to the drawing board goes Northern Colorado, just 8 minutes before intermission. May feel a little hard done by on the handball whistle. No time for complaints. Here's King. Now Oprah has some options. Billy King. Now Oprah, and he slots it home. Instant reply from Northern Colorado. And that's one way to respond. Lucky Oprah's 2nd of the season. Excellent response, and it all comes through the danger man, Billy King. Has the effort blocked, appeals for handball. They won't be appealing after that slides home. Nuhu issues rushing over to the near post, and Lucky Oprah makes him pay. Nothing you can do when Lucky Oprah's 2 feet in front of you. Second of the season for the left back, who's proven so dangerous all year going forward. And the Hailstorm on a level playing field. Oprah entered today tied for 8th in the league in assists. A man who hadn't scored prior to that Richmond match. That proved to be a pretty crucial equalizer in late July. Comes up with another one here in the late stages of this opening 45. King looking for more. Good looking cross. Stood up by Milanese well. And Dos Santos looks to usher out of danger. Kwakwa. Clever work. Dietrich. Hailstorm FC and future legends print with the pros at Color Pro Printing of Fort Collins. They make your vision a reality. Check them out at colorproprint.com. So Rashid Nuhu has a little bit to think about before the break. Largely untested prior to that Oprah opportunity. And knowing him, he'll be resilient. Here's Skeers. Finds Akoff, and this match has suddenly opened up in a hurry. Gallardo, the goal scorer. Akoff. Looks inside for Brizzo, and it goes out of play for the first Omaha corner of the night. All corners, of course, sponsored by Meadow Gold tonight.
Corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold.
And Milanese will rush over to take this. So how about the way this match has opened up? A quiet opening 35 minutes. Joe Gallardo changes it from the penalty spot. Just 2 minutes later, the equalizer from the left back, Lucky Oprah. Now a first major set piece opportunity for Milanese and the rest of Los Bujos. Here's his in-swinger. Arcing to the back post, finds the feet of Skeers. Brito. Well, we'll run it back from the opposite flank. Rather a throw. Here's Dos Santos. Milanese looks to the back stick. It was enticing for Skeers, slightly above his head though. Gallardo looking for Dos Santos, goes down in the box. Now the referee blows the whistle. This gets intriguing now. Waiting for his signal, and it goes against Rob Cornwall. Another penalty given for Union Omaha here in this first half. Well. Two costly opportunities on aerial crosses. And yeah, this is textbook. I mean, this is taking Dos Santos to prom in a nutshell. That's a textbook penalty. Not a lot of appeal for Cornwall. Dos Santos may have gone down a little easy, but can't wrap a man up like that. Another penalty kick, and JP Skierce this time will be the man to take from 12 yards. Here's Skierce, the captain, slots it home. Peñaranda got a glove to it, but it wasn't enough. Skierce's 6th of the year. Omaha 2 of 2 on penalties, and they've got a 2-1 advantage. Tried to get Peñaranda to bite. He didn't. And the 23-year-old goalie guessed right, but just outside his reach. And how about that? Lovely finish from the Cornell product. Not a lot of opportunities out of open play, but 2 strikes from 12 yards and Omaha right back in front. Rogers. As we approach the closing stages of this first half, I'm sure the tenor of the team talk for Maimon Zayed will be a little bit different in the dressing room. It'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time here from Windsor. So if you're just joining us, penalty by Gallardo in the 36th. Lovely equalizer from Oprah in the 38th. And then a costly foul from Rob Cornwall, the captain in the box, allows a fellow captain in Skierce to slot it home from 12, and that's where we find ourselves. Norte. Good-looking delivery. Cleared only as far as Fola. Wakwa looks for Ammon, still trying to grow more involved in this one. But whenever you take your eyes off him, he usually pops up. Skierce. Dos Santos crumbles to the deck. No whistle from the referee. Now here's Oprah. Surging down that left flank. Disciplined defending from Akoff. Well, Dos Santos had been largely relegated to a hold-up player for the bulk of that first half, but won that second penalty. Wrong-sided Cornwall, and there wasn't much he could do besides foul him from behind. Talked about how well the number 9 leads the lines. And the whistle sounds. That does it for the opening 45 minutes. A pair of Union Omaha penalties sees them in front by a goal at the intermission. A lucky Oprah equalizer keeps Northern Colorado in striking distance, but they'll have more work to do if they hope to at least salvage a point in the final 45. We're going to step aside in a moment here on ESPN Plus when we return. Some halftime stats and analysis. It's been a busy one here from Northern Colorado. An affair that opened as very cagey has certainly opened up the last 20 minutes. Stick with us on ESPN Plus.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee owned, community minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
Welcome. I'm Jason Olskard. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskard team powered by C3 Real Estate Solutions.
We are proud to partner with future legends to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are and the exceptional value that every client will experience when working with us.
If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule a time to meet with us.
Back here in Windsor, Colorado at halftime in USL League One. It was a busy midweek on Wednesday. Ryan Rose has you covered with the highlights.
Just 3 matches Wednesday, but they had implications. I'll say that. 33rd minute, Richmond versus North Carolina, off a corner from Neil Vinyals. Emiliano Terzaghi off the dome for his 9th goal of the season. Vinyals' first assist. I can't believe it's his first assist. 1-0 Richmond. That's the 8th straight match scoring a goal for Richmond. 11th time scoring the first goal this season. Less than 3 minutes later, this beautiful curler from Blanco to Garrett McLaughlin heads it down past Akira Fitzgerald, elevating over Dakota Barnett, and that's the 4th goal for McLaughlin. Blanco's first assist. NCFC leads the league in goals in the final 15 minutes of the first half with 13. 1-1 to the half, now 60th minute. Rafa takes the corner. It gets back to Rafa. He'll send it back in, and it's a goal off the head of, oh no, it's Michael Hornsby of Richmond, an own goal. Richmond leads the league with 4 own goals. It's 2-1 North Carolina, but Hornsby would be redeemed. Here on the long throw from Ani, it skips across. There's Hornsby, man on the spot, sends it just inside the near post. Hornsby levels the match. That's 90 plus 6, folks. 1-1 the final 2-2 the final score, rather, a point apiece for the two teams. Richmond had the last 7 shots in the match and stays alone in 7th in the table. They need points to get above the playoff line. North Carolina stays at the top of the table. We go down to Georgia. Tormenta hosting Central Valley. You cannot sleep on Georgia right out of the gate. Tormenta 65 seconds into the match. Davey Mason here on the pass from Bosway. Sends it in to Mateus Cassini. Folks, that's 65 seconds into the match. It's 1-0. That score would hold all the way to the half. But before we get to the half, in the 16th minute, this long ball up for Toby Otieno. A regrettable error for Mitchell North. He's out of the box. You cannot handle the ball there, and he gets a red card. Oh, that is a tough break. So that means we got to get the backup keeper, Mateus Fernandez, in there, and didn't go well for him. Minute 51. Fonseca sends it wide to Mason, who sends it to Jackson Corey in the middle of the box. That is a 2-0 lead. The first real action Mateus Fernandez is seeing this season as a keeper for Fuego. He'll probably start tonight as well. They will fight all the way to the end, though. Central Valley under Adam Smith, they're still fighting here. Down 10 minutes, 83rd minute, still trying to find a way to get a goal. Cerritos fouled in the box by John Murphy. He'll get a penalty, and he'll take it himself. Fuego falls 2-1 at Tormenta. Ian Cameron and company break a 2-match losing skid and slide into a tie for 7th with Richmond. Madison, Chattanooga, 4th place Madison, a chance to grab 2nd, hosting last place Chattanooga, a win, a loss, and a draw in the last 3 outings. I don't know how Carlos Avilés gets this ball. That's one of the most amazing double, triple saves I've seen. He's on his backside, he reaches up and paws it, and it doesn't go in. Still 0-0. Holy smokes, 6 saves on the night for Avilés. Still 0-0. Stephen Payne sends it up to Cheney, who crosses to Bartman. Surely this is a go. Nope, saved again. Aviles, man on the spot. Looks like a 0-0 draw. We get to the 90th. Bartman sends it wide to Onan. Touch pass to Payne. Finally sneaks one past Aviles. And it's a take your kid off Wednesday as Madison celebrates the 1-0 win and vaults into second place in the table, now just 2 behind North Carolina FC. News and notes are coming up after the break.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Here gives it a go, and Sue here from distance! How about this start for San Antonio FC? 5 minutes in, they're up 2 goals.
RGV, Davila trying to sneak one in and does! Oh my goodness, RGV, a fantastic goal!
Here's some news and notes around USL League One. How about the job John Harkes has done for Greenville, slowly climbing above that playoff line, led them to a 3-1-1 July. Meanwhile, the player of the month, Olex Anderson, 4 goals in the month of July. Another undefeated month for NCFC as they begin to rebound after a rocky start to the summer. And finally, the player of the week, Ates Diouf. I don't think Northern Colorado fans will be thrilled to hear his name after he scored 5 goals in 180 minutes against the Hailstorm, including a hat trick last weekend. But he is the player of the week for Lexington in Week 21. And here's your look at the team of the week. 1 man for Northern Colorado there. 4 men for Union Omaha. Of course, Trevor Ammon with the brace. You see JP Skierce, Connor Doyle, Luca Mastrantonio, and Shaft Brewer Jr., who did not start tonight. They're all in the team of the week. Good representation here in this match in the Week 21 honors. Let's take a look at some of the scores as well. It's been a busy night in USL League One, and how about the goals? 3-3-2 scoreline. Charlotte Independence holding on against Tormenta. And how about the surprise of the night? Chattanooga Red Wolves currently defeating Richmond Kickers 3-2. The other note of interest, Omaha's in front. Forward Madison fell tonight. They could climb to second with a win. Meanwhile, the look at the schedule going forward. Richmond and North Carolina meet again at City Stadium next Saturday. That'll be the second meeting in 3 weeks. As you look down the docket as well, this Omaha side will host Chattanooga and Northern Colorado Hailstorm. It doesn't get any easier for them. They have to host a Greenville side that has been streaking lately as well. And before we step aside here, Union Omaha and the USL League One family would like to extend our sincerest condolences to the Mejia Paxtor family, who tragically lost their lovely son, Brian. He was planning to participate in a local tournament in Lexington, sponsored by the club and Nebraska State Soccer. And you'll notice the Union Omaha players are wearing orange wrist wraps in solidarity with the Mejia Paxtor family. And for those interested in providing further assistance, there's also a GoFundMe online as well.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee owned, community minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
It's a new day, Northern Colorado, and we're set to seize it. More than that, we're out to dent the old standard and set the gold standard. Today is about resilience. That's something our squad has shown and continues to show. Today is about growth. That's a trait this team and this town have seen and continue to see. All this time, the focus has been on our community's legendary future. But today, it dawned on us. The future is now. Are we building something special? Hell yeah, we are.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights from what started as a cagey affair but opened up really quickly. Let's start in the 34th minute. Seems like a pretty innocuous free kick, right? Nope. Handball, penalty for Union Omaha, and everything kicked off after that. Rob Cornwall wasn't happy. He'd have further reason to not be happy later. And Joe Gallardo stepped up, slotted it home in the 36th to open the scoring. Well, it's the second time in as many weeks Northern Colorado has trailed in the first half at home. Lucky Oprah had an immediate response for the Hailstorm in the 38th minute. You see Billy King, who's been the danger man throughout the bulk of this game for the Hailstorm, gets it back here, shot deflected, handball appeal, doesn't matter. Lucky Oprah slots it underneath the diving Rashid Nuhu for his second of the season and pulls Northern Colorado level. And that's where it looked like we were going to stand at the break. But there was more drama ahead of the intermission. 43rd minute. You see this cross come in from Gallardo looking for Dos Santos. Cornwall wrong-sided, drags him down to the turf. Penalty. A second spot kick from 12 yards. JP Steers taps it home as he gets Peñaranda to slightly bite at the fake. And that gives Omaha a 2-1 lead at intermission. Well, let's see how the scoreline is reflected as well as we come ahead back here for the second half. Stats as well. Northern Colorado 60% of the ball in case those who are interested. So maybe a little against the grain, but 2 penalties will do that to you. And Ayman Zayed's side has some work to do if they hope to at least preserve a point and potentially snap out of this 3-match losing streak. Something you rarely say when discussing one of the most consistent outfits in League One. Ammon gets us back underway. And the restart here at the Future Legends Complex. Fans Peak Performance Chiropractic is the official chiropractor of your Owls and Hailstorm. Peak Performance is the primary location for wellness chiropractic care for the entire family. Here's Lukic. Involved sparingly in that opening 45. But we know what he can bring to the table. Player who posted over 40 assists and over 20 goals in an NAIA career. He says his time at Oklahoma Wesleyan helped him rediscover his love of soccer. After he began in the youth ranks in Serbia, played with Aleksandar Mitrovic and Dusan Vlahovic, nearly moved to Everton at a very young age. Rediscovering his love of football here in USL League One. Here's Gears, broken up well by Kwakwa. So if you're just joining us, we showed you the highlights moments ago, but the first 30 minutes and change, pretty cagey. And you would expect it from two sides looking to rediscover defensive solidity. A pair of Omaha penalties, though, on the other side of a lucky Oprah equalizer, allows Los Pujos to take a 2-1 lead into the start of the second half. Fans, of course, remember, due to that Madison defeat, an Omaha victory tonight would pull them into second place, which would be by far the highest they've sat all season. Oprah's got other ideas, and the cross cleared only as far as Rogers. Cornwall and Fola back in the usual center back pairing for Northern Colorado. Despite the penalties, this defense largely solid, and Cornwall is a big reason for it. Prior to this recent stretch, his return provided a boon for that back line. He's been fantastic throughout his 2 seasons with the club. Here's Oprah. And that's popped back to Peñaranda. Fola ventures forward, finds Ammon. Now here's Oprah. Looking inside for Dietrich, and it goes out of play for a Meadow Gold corner kick. Fans, corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold.
Corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold.
So Rogers will stand over this corner kick. Been so dangerous from set pieces over the course of this summer. Have the Hailstorm. Next to the far post and finds King waiting. Well, how about we run it back from the opposite side? Keep in mind, it wasn't the best start for Northern Colorado when they came back to defeat Richmond Kickers in late July. They fell behind 1-0, trailed at the break. A corner kick around this very moment a few weeks ago allowed them to pull level. Here's Rogers' in-swinger this time, near post. Norty can't quite win the foot race. And Gallardo clears only as far as Kwakwa. Rogers clipped at the heels by Akoff. First major set piece outside of a corner kick for Northern Colorado. Rogers has been involved. Finds King, taken short. Now Lukic. Bit of trickery. Still working along the byline. Pops it to the back stick. And now here's Cornwall. And now it's cleared ahead to Luis Heel. Well, this press is relentless to begin the final 45 minutes for the Hailstorm. Kwakwa. Oprah, lone goal scorer for the Hailstorm so far. Norty. Ammon. Chips it to the back stick, and desperate need of an insurance palm from Rashid Nuhu. Seems to be dealing with the after effects of that contact with the post as well. Referee doesn't stop play though. Lukic. Fola getting a touch to it. And Akoff finally clears out of danger. King. Rogers slithers it over to Lukic. Here is Norty. Still Norte. Norty! Oh, what a stop by Nuhu. That's terrific. Well, there's a reason he's been an all-league first-team keeper in the past. It's because he makes stops like that. Robbing Norte of a surefire equalizer.
Brought to you by Metal Gold.
Rogers will take this Meadow Gold corner kick. It's been nonstop pressure from the Hailstorm to begin the second. Gallardo. Some room for Connor Doyle. He and JP Skeers so solid in the pivot in that midfield all season. Lehman Lewis is sponsoring the Lehman Lewis Financial Group Pickleball Arena at Future Legends Complex. You're never too old to play, and you're never too young to start planning your future. Visit LehmanLewis.com and start talking about retirement. Oprah. Ammon's got room. Here's Trevor Ammon! And a good kick save from Nuhu at the near post. Had to be sure for insurance purposes. This is great interplay. Ammon catches it wide. Great recovery from Mastrantonio to force him a little off his targeted run. And Nuhu did the rest. The man who had a quiet week last week in 2 matches has suddenly been put under fire here in the opening 10 minutes since the restart. Another corner for Rogers. This one took a deflection. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Another corner for Northern Colorado, and Arthur Rogers is slowly getting target practice. This time taken short for Lukic. It's been troublesome with his footwork on the ball. Looks for Ammon! Point-blank header! Flag is raised, it seems, and the goal will be disallowed. Well, as of now, it's a goal kick, and despite Nuhu picking it up out of his own net, the goal was disallowed. And Trevor Ammon will have to wait for number 17. There have been a lot of goal controversies these last 2 weeks at Future Legends Complex. Both have gone against the Hailstorm.
Attention for the
This one seems a little more straightforward, though.
Omaha making its first and second change. Leaving the game, number 11, Joe Gallardo, and number 20, Luis Gill. Entering the game, number 9, Pedro Dolabella, and number 28, Shaft Brewer Jr.
So 2 changes for Omaha. Gallardo and Heel making way as Shaft Brewer Jr. and Pedro Dolabella will replace the 2 of them. A more defensive-minded alteration with Brewer replacing Gallardo, who put a ball in the back of the net. Opened the scoring today. Oprah looks for King, and Swahi recovers nicely. So you see the 2 changes. Heel popped in and out of the match. Gallardo a little more involved of the 2. Dolabella himself, very solid. Earlier in the year was starting with regularity for Omaha. Played last season in MLS Next Pro, was named to their best 11 with Rochester, New York FC. Here is Steven Dos Santos. Came through for Dolabella and broken up well by Kwakwa. Now Rogers. He's dangerous when he gets ahead of steam. So is this man, Oprah. King, low cross. Popped over to Norti. A Chelsea Youth Academy product. King, dueling with Akoff. Does well to prevent a corner. Well, the first half was very tight by both sides. It's been free-flowing football from the Hailstorm to open the second. Long throw by Oprah. Sits for Kwakwa. Now Billy King. Good-looking cross to the back post, and Ammon just unable to steer it on target. Ammon working his way into it. 2 major headed opportunities, less than 3 minutes apart. Copa Tejas takes center stage as playoff positioning heats up. Golden Boot leader Tani Oluwashi and San Antonio FC welcome Wilmer Cabrera and RGV FC with major playoff implications. It's San Antonio FC and RGV FC Wednesday, August 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And how about Oluwashi? 4 goals earlier this month against Hartford Athletic. I know that Hartford side isn't known for its defense, but that's next level regardless of who you're playing against. A rare opportunity to relieve some pressure here from Omaha. They've been under fire the entirety of the second half. And that trend may continue for the foreseeable future. Dietrich bundled over and wins the free kick. Rogers tries the cross, looking for Oprah, and caught right between himself and Nuhu. Scotchy's Cleaners is the official uniform cleaning partner of Hailstorm FC. With 2 locations in Fort Collins and 1 right down the street from Future Legends, Scotchy's Cleaners can handle all of your dry cleaning needs. Past the hour mark on ESPN Plus, a pair of Omaha penalties sandwiching a lucky Oprah finish has Los Pujos ahead 2-1 as they hunt their 4th consecutive victory. As things stand, they would avenge a defeat played less than a month ago here at the Future Legends complex. It was a match in which Coach Casciato felt they had a lot of the ball but didn't do enough with it in the final third. Sounds like they've done enough around the final third here so far. Meanwhile, for Northern Colorado, that was a match in which they were playing a 4th game in a 12-day span. Legs were a bit heavy, but they got the job done. It's been a little bit of the inverse here. A little sharper. Not a lot of final product. Kwakwa charging through midfield, no whistle. Looking for Ammon. Still trying to locate his head on those crosses. Well, Rashid Nuhu's been a very busy man here since the restart. He's passed a lot of tests very well, though. He's made some big stops for Omaha this season, as he does most years. He's been special wherever he's gone, and when you talk to Coach Casciato about him, says he gives that back line added confidence to take a few more chances. Also says he's known he's special since his Fordham days. Coach Casciato began his career as a grad assistant at St. John's. Around the same time, Rashid Nuhu was playing college soccer at Fordham and lighting up the A-10. Ever since then, he's known that's a good player that I might want on my team one day. It's funny how things work out. Here's Oprah. And, well, that took a touch off Dominic Casciato. Rogers going to war with Brewer, and he wins the foot race. Lukic has some room for this delivery. Once again, just overhitting King that time at the back stick.
Attention for a shift 4 substitution. Hailstorm making their first change. Leaving the game, number 18.
First change of the night for Northern Colorado. And there's the return of Bruno Rendon, who missed last week. Coach Zayed said they missed his presence. He's a player that has been a regular in the 11 all season for the Hailstorm. Can play virtually any position. Was mainly brought in to play right back, but played it under Colin Falvey, Eamon Zayed's assistant at Syracuse Pulse last year in Nisa. Said he can even play up front if need be. Fan substitutions are sponsored by Shift 4. That's the first Shift 4 substitution of the night for the Hailstorm. Gallardo may have taken some studs in that exchange. Skierce, actually. Thing that characterizes Bruno Rendo most is his ferocity. Unafraid to surge into a challenge, drives all over the pitch. He's a player who's developing so rapidly. According to Ayman Zayed, he gets his first touch here. Good looking cross. This just skips between King and Oprah. And it may have taken a touch off Akoff for a corner. That's exactly what the lineswoman will rule. Fans' corner kicks tonight are brought to you by Meadow Gold. Another one for Arthur Rogers here in the second half. In swinger towards Ammon. Defended well by Los Bujos. Now Dos Santos has some room surging the other direction. He's got support as well. Here's Brito. And draws the whistle from Kwakwa. For those interested, that most recent corner was an 8th corner kick won by Northern Colorado. They've won 8 in comparison to the Hailstorm's 1. Excuse me, in comparison to Omaha's 1. We'll take another look at this foul. Brito draws the high knee from Kwakwa. Both sides rehydrating for this final 25 minutes-ish. Milanese will walk over to take this set piece. Set pieces have been quite kind to Los Bujos tonight. Won their first penalty from one very much like this one in the first half. Here's Milanese's delivery towards the back post. Peñaranda punches. The follow-up is saved, and another stop. A triple save for Johan Peñaranda to keep Northern Colorado within striking distance. Oh, that was scintillating stuff from the 23-year-old. And Fola may have taken a whack in the process as well. Well, here's your look at this unbelievable bit of emergency defending. First save is punched. Second is stopped with the right palm. And then the third, a diving kick from Johan Peñaranda. Fola may have come off worse for wear as well. Certainly hope he's all right. A bit of brilliance from a man in Johan Peñaranda, who's making his first start of the year tonight. Fola still tended to by the physios. 28-year-old who's in his 4th year under the tutelage of Ayman Zayed. Played 2 seasons with him when he was a Chattanooga Red Wolf. And he'll be helped to his feet. Good to see him walking off on his own power. Dom Casciato. He's got the notepad out for his troops. He and Alexi Swahi trading notes. So we'll wait for Donovan Eubanks signaled to get back underway. We certainly hope Fulla is all right. Vans Becker Safety and Supply has you covered from head to toe. They provide industry-leading products and services to help keep you safe. Located in Windsor and Greeley and online at beckersafety.com. And back underway here from Windsor. Final 20 minutes and change here from the Future Legends Complex as Union Omaha looks to preserve what would be a 4th consecutive victory and a 9th win in the last 11 contests. Quite the run Los Bujos have been on these last few weeks. Here's King. Kwakwa switches the play for Oprah. Near post delivery for Rendon. Takes some contact in the box. And that whistle will not go against Omaha. It'll instead be for the man down in Milanese. Another man who's proven so crucial for Omaha over the course of this season. See him just dive in, runs right in a Rendon. Seemed pretty incidental both ways. May have just taken a knee to the face. All right, well, one more change for Northern Colorado. It's good to see Irvin Parra back on the pitch. Returned last week after multiple rounds of chemotherapy and recovery from testicular cancer. Awesome to see him back out there for yet another week. Just an inspiring story throughout USL League One. Someone who's got plenty of pedigree himself as a striker as well. So he replaces Stefan Lukic. That is the second shift for substitution of the night. Irvin Parra last season, 11 goals to his name. In talking to the coaching staff and Eamon Zaya this week, he said it was announced Parra would be ready to compete. They wanted it to be a home game. Irvin himself said that. And asked him, well, what's the chances I get on? And he said it's one of two scenarios. Either we need a goal or we're up a couple goals. They needed a goal, and Parra had a pretty good chance himself. And that moment where he got to check back onto the pitch for the first time since late March was one that he'll certainly remember, and he's been vocal about how grateful he is for the outpouring of support he's received from the League One family, and we're just glad to see him back out there competing. Milanese will be helped off the pitch by the physios. Just so sound in that left back spot over the course of the last few months. And they will make a change. So Steinwasser, Alex Steinwasser, the Xavier University product, will replace Milanese. So Milanese's night comes to an abrupt end. And the 22-year-old product of Sterling Heights, Michigan, Alex Steinwasser, whose lone goal was a screamer at Chattanooga in late May, will enter the fray. Leaving the game, number 5, Marco Milanese. Back underway. Entering the game, number 44, Alex Steinwasser. 3 changes made so far for Omaha, a pair for Northern Colorado. Here's King. And he'll win a set piece. And there's the yellow for Skeers. Second man in the book tonight.
A yellow card has been issued to Union Omaha, number 17, J.P. Skeers, in the 76th minute.
Well, a little bit of a cynical challenge. draws the ire of Donovan Eubank. You see here, yep. Quick turn from King. Skiers didn't want him roaming free. Here's Rogers. It's poked free, finds its way to Steinwasser's feet for his first touch. Now he's got some room to surge. Good ball over for Dolabella. Looks in for Steinwasser and just overhits him. Would have surely had a point-blank look on Peñaranda's goal. But Hailstorm dodged a bit of a bullet. Here's Parra's first touch of the night. And Doyle. Mastrantonio. Good ball forward for Brewer. Finds Brito. Poked over for Dolabella. Good looking cross for Dos Santos. Acrobatics don't keep it in play. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more on SiriusXM 157 and the SXM app. Well, into the final quarter of an hour here from Windsor, Colorado. Scoreline is still the same we saw at halftime, 2-1 Union Omaha. Penalty finishes from Joe Gallardo, and JP Skiers make the difference and cancel out Lucky Oprah's equalizer in the 38th. Northern Colorado's been on top here in the second. Here's King. Norty's cross, and yet another Meadow Gold corner kick for the Hailstorm. A ninth of the evening for the hosts. We'll see if ninth time is the charm for Arthur Rogers and this Northern Colorado side. This one's an outswinger for Ammon, and harrowingly trickles past that far stick. Well, that definitely put the hearts in throats for Union Omaha for a moment. Golden Boot leader narrowly unable to steer that into the far corner. He's had his moments. Had a goal waved off for offside earlier this half. He is still fresh off that brace. You know he can pop up literally at any moment and make the difference. Dos Santos. And now he'll win Omaha just their second corner of the night. Cross comes in for Doyle to the back post, and it's not at home. Union Omaha's got a cushion, and it's Pedro Dolabella who tucks it in the top corner. Dolabella's third of the year, and it couldn't have come at a better time as the substitute puts Omaha in prime position to wrap up all 3 points. The 24-year-old, native of Brasilia, Brazil, gets to this and tucks it beyond everyone. Kwakwa's last-ditch heroics unable to keep it out. And the young striker, who's made a difference in a few matches this year, may have just put it out of reach, and a classy move to point to the orange wrist wrap. And dedicating his goal. Great shot from our crew and a lovely move by Mr. Dolabella. So a set piece for Rogers. And now the Hailstorm have considerable work to do if they have to claw back into this. Shaft Brewer Jr. given a yellow card in the midst of all of that. I think he'll deem it a worthy trade at the moment. Here's Rogers' delivery, near post, off Para's head. Here's Irvin Para! And I believe the whistle sounded prior to that, sneaking in the back of the net. What a moment that would have been in Para's second appearance back. But alas, the whistle rules it out. Steinwasser. King in a tussle with the 22-year-old. Rogers looks for Rendon. And Brewer able to keep it in play. Here is Rendon. Finds Para. He's looked very good here since coming back on the pitch. Now delivers this cross. Finds its way back to Billy King. Kwakwa for Rendon. Now King. A game of hot potato on that near side. And a 10th Meadow Gold corner kick for the Hailstorm. Well, one of the league's top attacks has been largely stonewalled here in the second half. Opportunities have come and they've gone.
Attention for a shift 4 substitution.
As another shift 4 substitution is made by Northern Colorado.
Leaving the game, number 19, Billy
Here's the in-swinger. It's in the heart of the area, and Trevor Ammon rockets the post.
Hernandez replaces King in the 84th minute.
So Billy King, who's been so dangerous tonight, will make way for Marky Hernandez, who's got a penchant for big goals this season. All of the attacking guns blazing for the hosts as Trevor Ammon nearly tugged them back within one. Hernandez, pair of goals, a pair of assists. Had one last weekend in assist form. On Ammon's second against Lexington. Also scored the winner against Richmond Kickers in late July. Your Steinwasser. Here's Dolabella, the most recent goal scorer for Omaha. The only one to score to open play tonight. for Los Bujos. Para hunts Hernandez, and he's unable to run it down. Fans, Hailstorm FC wants to thank Peak Kitchen for providing meals for the players following tonight's match. Here is Hernandez. He's working in the step-overs. Kickoff hasn't quite bitten yet. Cleared only as far as Kwakwa. Pops over to Steinwasher. Leaves two in the dust. Cornwall. For Lucky Oprah. Hernandez once again tees up across. Norte provided a few punches going forward for the Hailstorm tonight. Mentioned his proven pedigree and FA Youth Cup winner with Chelsea. So played for Wrexham. It was prior to that Ryan Reynolds takeover. Para's cross finds Oprah. He's got a brace. This time the flag stays down, and Lucky Oprah's got Northern Colorado within striking distance. Oprah came into the night with 2 goals on the season. He's got 2 goals this evening. How about this? Irvin Para, just his second appearance. Brilliant cross. Finds Oprah. Welcome back, Irvin, and welcome back into the match, Northern Colorado.
Hailstorm goal. Scoring his second of the night, number 7, Lucky Oprah. Goal scored in the 87th minute.
Lucky Oprah, a man who cut his teeth early on in his professional career in Latvia. Also played in the Swiss Super League as well as the Finnish and Estonian top flights.
Attention for shift 4 substitution.
Now in his debut campaign with the Hailstorm, continues to make an impact going forward.
Entering the game, number 13, Anderson Holt.
So Union Omaha now back to the drawing board as they make a change. And the man entering the fray will be the young defender Anderson Holt. A man who came up through the talent project in Germany at age 15, played against some top Bundesliga youth competition. So good to see Holt entering the fray. He's just the 3rd player in Omaha history to sign an academy contract. So Northern Colorado back in striking distance as Lucky Oprah adds yet another finish. In the 87th minute after Irvin Para comes up with the lovely assist. There will be one more change for Omaha before the night is done. It'll be Shivani Willis, who scored the goal of the week last week, replacing Steven Dos Santos, who put in a lovely shift, took a fair few whacks in the process. Long throw for Northern Colorado as they look to salvage a point.
Attention for shift 4 substitution. Union Omaha making its 5th and final change.
So Omaha's out of substitutions. Northern Colorado may have one more in their locker. Here's Para. What a story it would be if he could make his imprint further felt on this one. And a slight miscue between Rogers and Norty. Well, Anderson Holt is the man getting set to throw this back in play. There's been one more change for Northern Colorado. Academy product for Academy product. It's McCain Clark, the Broomfield, Colorado native.
Attention for shift 4 substitution. Hailstorm making their 4th change. Leaving the game, number 4, Rob Cornwall.
And he'll replace Rob Cornwall
number 47,
as the Hailstorm look to chase this one.
Clark replaces Cornwall in stoppage time.
Eight minutes of added time here. Here's Oprah. Would have been a cheeky way to get a hat trick.
The 4th official has indicated a minimum of 8 minutes will be added to the second half.
Clark worked out with the Hailstorm. Little profile on the substitute, just 18 years of age. He worked out with the Hailstorm last season. He joined officially this year, and he's another player with youth ties playing in Germany. He trained at clubs there as well, and now officially the youngest player to take the pitch in Hailstorm history. So fun fact given to me by the production crew, 3 other matches tonight in the 6-game slate in USL League One have ended with a 3-2 scoreline. How about that for a little bit of consistency throughout the league? Something that you rarely see in terms of scorelines here in USL League One. There's always something new each week. For Omaha, it's about seeing this one out. For Northern Colorado, it's about late dramatics and preventing what would be a 4th consecutive defeat, 2 of which would have occurred at what was becoming a fortress prior to last week in the Future Legends complex. Here is Anderson Holt, the youngster. He's got the wind in his sails a bit. Finds Willis. Now Brito looks for Willis. Shivani Willis in a wrestling match with Kwakwa, and it'll be snatched by Peñaranda. Now McCain Clark. He's got some space. Looks ahead for Para. And Steinwasher plays out of danger to Dolabella. 5 minutes separate Omaha from a 4th consecutive victory. Oprah. Brilliant switch to Clark. Kwakwa. Desperately hunting that opening are the Hailstorm. Good cross from Para, and it's snagged acrobatically by Nuhu. He's been a busy man here in the final 45 minutes. Hernandez. Scanning forward for Oprah. And well, Ayman Zayed once again finds himself in the book. He's one of the more vocal managers in the league, but he's one of the more phenomenal ones to speak to as well. It's not an uncommon sight to see him draw the yellow, though, at Future Legends. someone who always provides an honest assessment of his club. He's done a phenomenal job regardless of how this one turns out. Deflected cross, and Brito may have just won his side of corner. We're beneath now, less than 3 minutes remaining of the allocated 8 in added time. And now it's a waiting game for Los Bujos down the stretch. Willis playing keep away in the corner. And it'll all fall on the shoulders of that man, Donovan Eubank, in a matter of moments here in Windsor. Deflects off Norty. Seems like it may take a Herculean effort for the Hailstorm to claw a point out of this one. It's one back well, though. Here's Kwakwa. Into the final minute of added time. Well, there's a visible degree of agitation throughout this stadium. Looking for one late source of celebration, here are the Hailstorm. Rogers. Perhaps time for one or two more attacks for the Hailstorm. Here's Oprah. There are numbers forward for Northern Colorado. It's all on Donovan Eubank's shoulders now. Para. Low cross, finds Clark. Hoof clear by Brewer. The whistle sounds, and it's 4 on the trot for Union Omaha as they come on the road and clinch the season series against the Hailstorm. A 4th consecutive defeat for Eamon Zayed's side as they go back to the drawing board. But for Los Bujos, it's an ascension into 2nd place tonight, the highest they've been all season in the USL League One table, and that man, Dom Casciato, will have a lot to be pleased about. Well, fans, it's time for our play of the match presented by Meadow Gold here tonight. A 5-goal thriller from the Future Legends complex. Let's take a look at what draws the honor. Well, it can't be anything else but this. Pedro Dolabella's goal to polish things off in the late stages of this one. A fantastic cross, an even better header. Not much Enoch Kwakwa could do. And then the classy point to the orange wristband in honor of Brian Mejia Paxtor, the young child who the club is supporting tonight. A lovely finish from Dolabella. That proved to be the insurance Omaha needed in this 3-2 victory as they make it 4 in a row over a Northern Colorado side that has suddenly found itself in a bit of a surprising tailspin after going 12 matches unbeaten through late July. We're going to step aside here on ESPN Plus. A 5-goal barn burner here from Windsor, and the visitors, Union Omaha, come out on top.
Welcome I'm Jason Olskard. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskard team powered by C3 Real Estate Solutions.
We are proud to partner with future legends to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are and the exceptional value that every client will experience when working with us.
If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule a time to meet with us.
Shields All Sports Store is your one stop for everything outdoors, with local experts eager to guide you through the widest selection of brands. Your one stop for exercise gear to get working out or fashions for going out. And your one stop for footwear in your size, your style, yours to take home today. Shields, employee owned, community minded, and like no place you've ever shopped before.
Back here from Windsor, Colorado, as Eamon Zayed and Dom Casciato trade notes in what was a 5-goal barn burner. Union Omaha with a 4th consecutive victory as Northern Colorado Hailstorm is forced to reevaluate things after a 4th straight defeat. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights in what proved to be a very eventful match. It was a cagey opening half hour, but then in the 34th minute, everything kicked off. Gallardo with this delivery, looking inside for the head of Mastrantonio. They say Norte got a touch to it. So there's a penalty, and who else but Joe Gallardo to stand over this and slot it home for his 3rd of the year. That gave Omaha a 1-0 advantage, yet another first-half deficit for the Hailstorm. But they made it up pretty quick. 38th minute, you see them come immediately downfield. Billy King was in the midst of all of this action. He was so dangerous throughout the 90 minutes. Found Lucky Oprah, and after a deflected shot from King, Oprah pounced, rendered the handball appeal irrelevant. There's your equalizer, and there's a 1-1 scoreline in the late stages of the first half. But if you think that that was all that, we had in store for you in the opening 45 minutes, well, you'd stand corrected. Here's the 43rd minute. Rob Cornwall finds himself in a bit of a tussle with Steven Dos Santos, drags him down to the turf, draws yet another penalty shout, and yet another point to the spot. And this time, JP Skiers with his 6th of the season. Johan Peñaranda reads it properly, but unable to keep it out. And so it's 2-1 heading into intermission for Union Omaha. In a first half that was kind of quiet, we take you to the 80th, and Pedro Dolabella put his stamp on it. Great header from the substitute. Not enough for Enoch Kwakwa to keep it off the line. And there's a 3-1 lead and a 2-goal cushion for the visitors. And like we said, we spotlighted this, a classy celebration. But it wasn't all we had in store for you before the end of the match. Lucky Oprah once again making his imprint felt. And the substitute, Irvin Parra, his first goal contribution since returning. A lovely little short cross in his 2nd appearance back. And Lucky Oprah polishes it off, but they were unable to find the equalizer. Here's your look at the full-time stats. You see a distinct possession advantage from Northern Colorado. They pretty much bossed it throughout, although the second half considerably so. Shots tally, though, more even than you'd think. Omaha did a very good job combating, popping up in their press and creating key chances, and they had more shots on goal in the process. You could argue a warranted 3 points for the visitors, despite the possessional disparity, and just a lovely performance from Dom Casciato's bunch, who has slowly started to turn those early season draws into later season victories. That does it for our coverage from Windsor, Colorado. So for myself, Sam Goldfarb, our lovely ESPN Plus crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Union Omaha taking all 3 points from the Future Legends complex. They've climbed up to a season-best 2nd place in the League One table. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado Hailstorm, a 4th consecutive defeat. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night, everyone. Signing off.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.